Hey, I want to thank everybody who's been a part of this channel, whether you're liking these videos, sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, becoming a member, helping on Patreon. I really appreciate it. This channel is just about freedom. I just want to be free. I just want to be left alone. I know you want to be left alone. I want to earn and take home 100% of everything that I go out and spend my time and laboring energies on. And the government just doesn't want that. Democrat government, Republican government, they just don't want it. They want to continue to grow the government. They want to continue to make laws. The more laws we have, the less freedoms we have. I want to show you this right here. And this might be the last video that I do until after the holidays because I'm going to spend some time with my family. Now, I might do one or two videos if there's something major that comes on the scene, but I want to leave you with this because a lot of people are going to be traveling over the holidays and we're going to be going through what's called checkpoints. A checkpoint is a sign that you are not free. When we think of Nazi checkpoints, we think, no, you can't move from there to there unless you have my permission. And in order to get my permission, you need to satisfy any kind of questions or concerns I might have about you. I'm the authority over you. You will submit to me. If you don't submit to me, you don't go through that checkpoint. So when you see a checkpoint, whether it's a Nazi brown shirt checkpoint or a TSA blue shirt checkpoint here in America, that's a sign that you're not free. If you've got to take off your belt, undo your shoelaces, put your laptop in the bin, pour out anything over 3 ounces, including shampoo, conditioner, or whatever, this isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. And we need to understand that. And we need to let that sink down in our spirit because the true spirit of America is the spirit of resistance and rebellion to that kind of checkpoint tyranny. And I don't care what it's in the veil of. I don't care how it presents itself. I don't care how fine or beautiful the mask is. A checkpoint is still tyranny. A checkpoint for safety is still tyranny. And the safety of the people will always be the alibi and excuse of tyrants. They'll take more money from the people. They'll expand government surveillance and the control grid for the technocratic state. And that's what we're going to hear right here with Kristi Noem. It's this safety needle that they want to convince you that's moving in your direction for your favor, keeping you safe. You want to get to your destination safely and conveniently, don't you? Well, we're just going to have to pour more money into it. So this is Kristi Noem saying we're going to spend another $1 billion on TSA checkpoints so you can travel safely to see you want to see your family, don't you? So you can see your family in safety with convenience. Here is Kristi Noem.
I wanted to come and be with all of you today to talk about the fact that we as the Department of Homeland Security are going to be investing over $1 billion in new technology.
Translation, we are going to steal another $1 billion from you to keep you safe. That's antithetical to free market operations. We're going to interrupt the market and we're going to pour a whole bunch of money into this security apparatus, this technocratic state. We're going to give more power over to the techno bros so that they can invest in gait recognition and facial recognition and all these diagnostics that can sync maybe with your phone, maybe with your watch. We're going to keep an eye on you. It's for your safety. But we're going to hand all this control and all this power over to the techno bros, and we're going to do it on your dime. Is what they're saying.
And new advancements in the security systems add to security checkpoints in airports across the country.
Add to what security? We're going to find out. There's been zero security since November of 2001, which was the inception of TSA, which operates under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security, which came online, by the way, through the unpatriotic Patriot Act.
That is the biggest investment that we've seen in screening technologies in years, in over a decade. And we know that
that's an investment in screening technologies, or it's an investment in Wall Street. It's an investment in Palantir. It's an investment in Oracle.
It is our responsibility not just to keep travelers safe, but also to make sure that we're getting them to their locations and to their destinations safely, on time, and efficiently, and also in a manner that can be pleasant and can be an enjoyable experience for them and for their families.
And the safety of the people will always be the alibi of Kristi Noem tyrants, of Joe Biden tyrants, of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Donald Trump tyrants. It's necessary. You want to keep what? You don't want to keep Americans safe? Then you're un-American. You're unpatriotic. Necessity. It's the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. It's the argument of tyrants. It's the creed of slaves. But let's get down to brass tacks as Kristi Noem stands in front of the TSA blue shirt checkpoint boys. Exactly how many dreaded terrorists has the TSA, the blue shirts of the TSA, actually nabbed since their inception? Well, I asked Grok that, and Grok says exactly 0. Since the Transportation Security Administration was established in November 2001 following the 9/11 attacks, it has not arrested or identified any confirmed terrorists at U.S. airport checkpoints. Official assessments, including reports from the U.S. Government Accountability Office, confirmed that while TSA's screening of passengers by observational techniques or SPOT programs has led to thousands of referrals to law enforcement, mostly for drugs or minor crimes. In other words, innocent people have been nabbed. Families have been destroyed. People have gone to prison and are probably still sitting in prison for minor drug charges, because we know the drug war, it's not a war on drugs, it's a war on people. It says no such referrals have resulted in the apprehension of individuals planning terrorist attacks. Now, security experts like Bruce Schneider describe TSA screenings as largely security theater, which is what we've been calling the TSA and the Department of Homeland Security since back in 2001. That deters threats through visibility, but hasn't directly nabbed any verified terrorists. But guess who the terrorists actually were? I'll give you a hint. They're all in this one photo behind me. Guess who the terrorists actually were? Guess who Americans were actually terrorized by? Well, that leads me to my next query for Grok. Briefly, how many TSA agents have been fired and or arrested for committing crimes? It says at least 108 arrests and over 500 firings. Guess what? There should have been way more arrests. There should have been way more firings. I'll show you why. Since the TSA's creation in 2001, at least 108 transportation security officers were arrested for job-related crimes like theft and drug smuggling from late 2010 to early 2013 alone, per congressional reports and media analysis. Do you remember the CNN red team test? Actually, it wasn't even CNN. It was a government red team test. And what red team tests are is that government agents go in specifically to see if they can smuggle in guns and explosives through TSA checkpoints. And they found that year after year after year, 95 to 98% of guns and bombs made their way onto your departing flight.
We turn next tonight to troubling new findings after an undercover operation at U.S. airports. TSA officers failing to detect weapons or explosives most of the time, with millions of Americans about to fly for Thanksgiving.
Your son or daughter's departing flight, your mother or father, your grandparents' departing flight, got right through TSA, boom, no problem. That is security theater. But wait, we ain't seen nothing yet. The agency has fired more than 500 employees for theft through 2015. Do you remember that time ABC, using a decoy traveler, tried to get a bag through with an iPad, and that TSA agent stole the iPad and they pinged that iPad back to the TSA's house, and the camera crew went there and caught him red-handed? How many times have TSA agents committed crimes against Americans that they're supposed to be protecting and serving through these checkpoints? How many times have they actually gotten away? How many times have supervisors looked the other way? With earlier data showing nearly 400 dismissals from 2002 to 2012, comprehensive totals remain unavailable due to limited public reporting. They probably stopped reporting on that. But misconduct cases rose 26% from 2010 to 2012, 2,691 to 3,408 annually. That's 3,400 misconduct cases per year, often leading to termination or prosecution. How many of those TSA agents should actually be in jail? But wait, there's more. Then I asked briefly, how much has TSA cost Americans since its inception? Approximately $200 billion. That's 2/10, that's 20% of $1 trillion. I mean, just let that sink in. Since the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, was created in November 2001, its total appropriations have exceeded $200 billion through fiscal year 2025, funded primarily by U.S. taxpayers via general appropriations, about $170 billion net after fees and passenger security fees. So you're not just paying on the tax end of it. Every time you buy an airline ticket, you're paying for airport security. Security that you're not getting. You're getting security theater. Oh, it looks good. It's a good show. You're going through that scanner. You're doing everything they tell you to do. The blue shirts are wearing their uniforms. It looks all legit. But guns and bombs are making their way onto your departing flight. They're actually using those screeners to look at women and using their hands to molest your grandfather and your grandparents and your grandkids and your kids. It's the radiation and molestation practices of the blue shirts at the TSA checkpoints. You're paying extra on your airline ticket and through your taxes for people who are not only not keeping you safe and securing you through these checkpoints, but they're ripping you off and jeopardizing your lives. And it's expensive security theater. It's ineffective and expensive. This estimate aggregates historical data, roughly $5 billion for fiscal year 2002, initial supplemental funding, $4.8 billion for 2003, and an average of $7 to $8 billion annually from 2004 to 2015, rising to $10 to $11 billion for 2016 to 2025. You notice what's happening? It's going up. They're taking more money. You're not getting any more service or security. Amid workforce expansions and technology upgrades, adjusted for inflation, the cumulative cost is higher, around $250 to $300 billion in 2025 dollars per USA Facts. The bottom line is these people are flat out lying to us all as they beef up the government, increase surveillance, and the technocratic control grid for the Palantirs and the oracles of this world. I hope you have safe travels. I hope you don't have to go through any molestation or radiation through the TSA checkpoints. I hope you're safe. I hope you enjoy your time with your family. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Let's change the world. And remember, the government is that armed, parasitic, psychopathic, vile, criminal, thieving gang that you were afraid would take over in the absence of government. I'll see you in the next video.